Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bode Podcast, where we talk all things crypto market. That includes majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to talk about the ByBit hack that happened just after the show ended on Friday and the current state of the market. We're going to talk about the SEC dropping charges against Robinhood, and we're going to talk about Pump.Fun launching their own AMM liquidity pools, causing waves in the LP market, with Radium being the number one token that was hit. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Packed house today. I've got Easy, Clemente, Signal, Pio with me. How you all feeling today? How you feeling today, Sig? It's been a while since we talked.
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. I don't even know if I should be sharing this. It is so like left wing and left field, but I'm just going to show it. So I went to get an eye test today, and I don't know if you've ever had an eye test, but normally to check the pressure in your eye, they do these little puffs into your eye, and that's how they check the eye pressure. But this doctor was like, no, don't worry, I have a different, more precise way. So he has this thing come straight to my eye, and it like all you want to do is like close your eyes so it doesn't go in. Anyway, and it touches your eye. But I kept freaking out. So he was like, I'm just gonna sort of like not anesthetize, but numb your eyes so you don't do it as much. So anyway, he puts it in and he goes, don't worry, your tears might be a little bit yellow, but you'll be fine. So he puts this stuff in, he does it, and then about 5 minutes later, I need to sneeze, and I sneeze, and I sneeze, yellow highlighted snot just comes right out of my mouth. And I was like, oh my God, what have you done to me? He was like, I'm so sorry, but it's gone through your eyes into your nostrils. And now I was basically sneezing yellow highlighted snot for about an hour afterwards. So that was my morning. Nothing to do with crypto, but I've never had that before. So there you go.
Yeah, little known fact that your tear ducts drain into your nose. I figured that out being a dad. I had no idea about that before, but we had blocked tear ducts that you had to do stuff with the nose to kind of clear up. So that's interesting. When you have a kid, there's all kinds of stuff you learn about the human anatomy. Pio, how you feeling today? We had a big hack right after the show. Were you panicking all weekend, worried about your Bitcoin, or were you just cool as a cucumber?
I was terrified.
You're on the wrong mic. You're on the wrong mic, Pio. Shake it off. Shake it off. Hey, Ray, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. I played some pickleball yesterday. I tried to take my e-bike 40 miles yesterday, and it completely ran out of a battery. So I had to put it in a car, like load it into a car with the trunk open, and it was hanging out on the highway, and then rode back. So it was an embarrassing day for me yesterday.
I'm sorry to hear that, Clemente. That's devastating. I mean, look, I've had absolute dipshit moments in New York with the e-bike, aka just walking it across the Williamsburg Bridge in the rain, just getting rained on like an asshole, and you can't do anything. All you have to do is mentally just think, well, you can't do anything. You're just going to get wet. Just keep walking. Just keep getting the rain drenched on you because you're an idiot and you didn't charge your battery. But with your bike, I don't know. I'll talk to you about it offline, but I got my bike in full service now, so I'll be whipping around the roads. Got to be careful on that thing, though, because I was in the sauna and two people were having a conversation. A girl and a guy didn't know each other, having a conversation about how the girl broke every bone in her body, both of her legs and her arms, in a motorcycle accident. And the guy broke his leg in a motorcycle accident in Miami. Obviously, they were probably going much faster than our bikes go, but you got to be careful on that thing.
Wait, I'm confused. So your bike runs out of battery, so you can't pedal it?
It's like 70 pounds. So it's
heavier than 70 pounds, dude.
Higher.
This thing's a fucking tank. Like pedaling that, dude, and the slightest hill, you're miserable. You're like your quads are on fire going up like a 3-inch incline. It's fucked.
It sounds just like Clemente is a little bit afraid of a workout there to me. But we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk a little bit about RekTech. The show brought to you in partnership with RekTech. We absolutely love RekTech, and there is huge news coming out this week. They are launching their Season 1 Dream Pass mint tomorrow. If you're not familiar with what RekTech is, they are trying to be the biggest game show ever made, starting in Web3. Players can compete in these daily games. You're going to play one of them right here. Think of them as like your daily like DGen, like Wordle game, essentially, but you're playing them and they're all Web3 related and they're very quick and easy. You can pop in once a day, do these, have some fun while you're doing it, and earn experience, which is good to earn prizes and future ecosystem rewards. We're gonna play the game real quick, and I'll tell you a little bit about the mint pass and what that does a little bit later. But first, we're gonna play the game of the day. So essentially, this is a read the room game. So you're doing two things here. You're basically answering a question, and then you're also predicting what other people will answer this question with. So this is an interesting question. I think we're gonna get a couple different answers from our actual panelists here. Which meme coin will have a higher FDV 12 months from now? Pepe or Trump? Is Trump the no-brainer here, or do you think there's a chance that Pepe in 12 months flips Trump?
Pepe.
Remembering that Trump does have a supply overhang right now.
Pepe.
Pepe at 3.7 million circulating. Trump at 2.9.
It's Pepe.
Pepe.
Trump. Wow.
Okay, so you got 3 Pepes, 1 Trump. I think I'm gonna lean towards Trump on this one.
Wow. Well, you're already wrong.
And I think more people will say Trump than Pepe. But I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be like 54% going towards Trump. So, I mean, 46% going to Pepe.
So you're guessing what the collective will say, not what the actuality is?
I'm picking the actuality and then guessing what the collective will pick.
No. But I'm saying, what are you rewarded for? Which of these?
I believe... I'm actually not sure the exact formula. Maybe you're part of the. If you guess right, you get a little bit, or if you guess what most people guess, you get a little bit, and then if you guess the percentage, you get probably more. I'm not sure about the exact details.
Got it. So the question is, what percentage of people will choose Pepe, which is different than the question, which will actually be the case.
Yeah, correct. You're posed both questions here.
No, but you're not asked both.
It's
questions.
a 2-part question. It's a 2-part question. The first one is,
guys, No, the one that you. Oh, I see. So you choose and select the number. You are right. Wow, what the fuck?
2-part question.
What? This is so. Blade's like, Nick's making this difficult, bro. This is difficult.
Why is he like? I ask myself this every day. Why is he like this? Why is he like this?
The reality is Pepe. Pepe is the correct answer at the top.
I'm going to say Trump, and I'm going to think more people are going to choose Trump here. That's going to be my stance here. So this is one example of one mini game.
Well, hold on. Why didn't you answer it? Submit your answer.
I did. I'm good.
Oh,
I can exit. Yeah, I can come back. I can change it if I want. But once this ends in the next, I believe noon is when this one will end. It'll get scored, and they'll go to my experience points. Experience points are what earns you rewards during the season. They're what earns you future ecosystem rewards at the end. If you know what future ecosystem rewards generally lead to, you could put 2 and 2 together there, do a little bit of math. But we're really excited about RekTech. They have a mint coming tomorrow. We're going to talk more about it today. We're going to talk more about it tomorrow. 0.25 Solana to mint their Dream Pass. Essentially what this does is gives you access to earn experience on this platform. Right now they're in like pre-alpha testing. But Doggos have access through the tournament we ran. We have access to demonstrate the game to you, but this mint pass is going to give you access to the game. It's an open edition mint. You can mint as many as you want. With each Dream Pass, you can play and create a profile. So you can play if you're somebody who wants to do this a ton. You can play 20 different accounts if you're somebody who just wants to do it, on my single account and then try to like rack up as much XP as possible on that single account. You can do it that way. Open edition, and then the XP and everything carries along with that mint. So say you do really well in these games and you have a high experience total, you can sell that mint pass loaded with that experience for potentially a higher amount later. We'll talk more about the mechanics and the seasons later in the show. Just a little introduction here of RekTech. If you're not familiar, we'll be playing these games all week, all month. We love RekTech. We love working with them. Nick, welcome to the show. You were traveling, it looked, over the last couple of days, but now you're back in Miami. Where were you?
I've been in Miami the whole time.
That iguana was a Miamian iguana?
Turns out that there's iguanas in Florida. I went on a 30-minute drive.
Okay.
I saw an iguana walking down the street when I was walking my dog. She thought it was quite interesting. I think it was probably like 4 feet long if you count the tail. It's cool.
Dude, iguanas are all over this land of ours.
You learn something every day. But we will stop dilly dally.
Hold on. Where did you think I was? Where do
I thought you were like going to Argentina or something. It looked like there's like a mountain in the background. I was like, damn, Nick's like out in South America on the case right now. I thought you were just like chasing after Malay or doing something crazy.
No, I've been coding a chunk of this weekend. The mobile app is made a ton of most of it is stuff that people don't even notice or care about, but whatever. It was things like email integration, analytics, crash analytics, things like that, crash monitoring. Anyways, but there are some big stories this weekend, huh?
Yeah,
we got Nazis running around. That was a line. Pio keeps being like, "This is news, right?" I'm like, "No, I'm good on this."
I'm not saying that the news is the Nazi stuff. I'm saying like the news is that the coin is going to come out.
Yeah, I mean, but that was already like widely publicized. I don't know. I just after he's standing there with a Nazi or a swastika thing on his shirt, just on video, I'm like, I'm good on this. Like, there's not a ton of value out of paying attention to Mr. Nazi guy over here, regardless of what his position is. It's just like, yo, this is so negative. I just don't need more of this in my life. And there's tons of ways to make money. I just don't need to make money through Kanye's token. It's
yeah, I mean,
not.
I think the story's pretty much played out until a token actually releases. Until then, it's just like basically a soap opera, and people are just interested to follow along for entertainment and like watch. It's like watching like a car accident essentially, and that's the value in it until a token gets dropped, in my opinion.
Yeah, but even once the token drops, what am I don't need to cover that token. There's a million tokens. There's things making money every day. A lot of stuff happening on Avalanche right now, for example. People making a ton of money. So I can go and make money there. I don't need to follow the drama of Kanye and the associated scammers with him. Like I have enough on that. That was also on the backs of a guy literally committing suicide on X this weekend. I think there's just like so much whack shit that I'm just like, yeah, I don't need this. I had a conversation. I got in an argument over this. I'm not a fan of consuming regular global news. I'll read it. I'll scan the headlines. I'll get that info and I'll move on. But people who are watching on the TV global news for an extended period of time, to me, is the worst form of content in existence because it's completely meaningless. Like it has what's that?
Propaganda mixed in there, yeah.
Sorry, say that again.
There's some propaganda mixed in there too.
Yeah, depending on which channel you end up consuming. But like, I was in an argument this weekend that was like, yeah, but like the Pope dying could move markets, and I'm like, could it? I'm like, what am I going to do?
He's not moving my market.
Yeah, reallocate my portfolio because the Pope died. Like, what are we talking? Like, or whatever sort of news is going on. I don't trade based on most news. That said, like if there's some early access, like some token thing, and I'm holding a shit coin, and someone's like, Easy had the trade that he mentioned about Radium, which actually someone just tipped for. I sold my Radium, but
you nuke the hell out of it. If after that announcement, you get the hell out of Ray. There's no reason to hold it at this point. Like, I scaled a small amount when it pushed to 8. I sadly did not get as much as I wanted out of it. We were buying it under $2, so like we still had a return. But dude, Pump.Fun making an AMM here. There's no volume driver to Radium at this point.
Clemente.
Can we are we doing the weather report?
Yeah,
no price talk.
Get back in and ready to rock here.
Let's do the weather report. But real quick question: did Wink pump?
Yeah, it's back.
Oh, so they bought.
Yeah, did motherfucker.
50K. They bought some number. I forget what it was, and burn. So yeah, you got to buy and burn yesterday. The chart looks incredibly good. It looks like it's going to go to 220 mil.
What was my target? what was my target? I said 250 million is at least the
220 looks good. I'm still scaling some out every single
You
day.
guys are telling
Hey.
me to dump all my bags.
I was literally telling you to not do that. I was
Dump
you
all
were
your
like,
bags.
No, I was like, that's ridiculous. Do not do that. And Nick's just like, I think I'm gonna do it. I was like, what are you doing, dude?
I have a
I just
million of
continue to
these
slow
left.
scale it. I continue to slowly sell this thing.
How many did we start with? 1.3 million?
1.4, 1.45.
Okay. So, all right, I'll just sell 5K and move on with the day.
Good
Congrats.
hold, Nick. Hey, good hold.
Congrats.
Hey, Nick.
Happy,
that's what I'm
happy
talking
for you
about.
guys. Congrats. Happy for you guys. Awesome. Signal. Why don't you take it away with another report and we can stop talking about this Wink pre-sale that I did not get into.
Yeah, let's get into it, guys. On Monday, 24th of February, looking at that crypto roundup, Bitcoin, it's just doing great. It's just holding steady while everything else is just collapsing under it. Ethereum is just under 2,700. Solana at $159, just bleeding down. Over the weekend, firstly, news broke that this morning the SEC is dismissing its case against Robinhood. This ends the investigation that began last year, claiming that the platform could be charged for violations of security law within its crypto unit. Next up, ByBit replenished its reserves following the 1.5 billion hack the exchange experienced on Friday. Ethereum was purchased at market and loaned to the exchange through a number of counterparties to bring the exchange deposit ratio back to 1-on-1. And then finally, last up, Pump.Fun just came out with a knockout punch. It shook up the liquidity pool market and began rolling out its own AMM liquidity pools. Previously, tokens all graduated to Radium pools, but now the Ray token is down over 25% on the day to $3.20. What a pullback. That is all for the weather report. It is back to you folks in the studio.
Excellent weather report as always. I think we basically just glossed over the hack this morning when I just said like Pio was the sky falling, and we went and talked about 10 other different things.
Which
We haven't
hack?
talked- The ByBit hack. That we didn't. That happened after the show on Friday. Exactly. It happened. A $1.5 billion hack, the largest amount of money stolen ever in human history, happened in crypto on Friday after our show, and everyone's here and like, maybe we'll talk about that at some point.
You can't trust that exchange, man. After that, like that's an insane situation. It's also crazy that help me understand this. It was all Ethereum.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what happened? I can just do a quick rundown on what happened, just so anyone's not familiar.
So, but also the ByBit CEO went on a space this weekend and walked through their entire security procedure, which I thought was interesting. Like, that is kind of a weird thing to just publicly say what every step of your security procedure is. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of weird. But anyways, Ray, you want to give the overview?
Yeah. So I started from the middle of the story. I was going to start from the beginning. So what happened on Friday was ByBit was doing like routine transfers from cold wallet to hot wallet to just go about normal business operations. And to sign out of the cold wallet, there's a multi-sig process where multiple people need to sign a transaction. So all of these people signed this transaction thinking that it was basically just a transfer of funds from cold to hot. And when in reality, what happens was hackers injected code in the front end, causing the signature not to appear what it was doing. It actually was doing something different. And what it was doing was it was giving the hackers access to the cold wallet funds. So what happened was the hackers then had access to that cold wallet, withdrew $1.5 billion worth of tokens, mainly Ethereum, staked Ethereum, and other like different types of Ethereum. I guess that was a cold wallet dedicated for that. And then began distributing the funds in different ways to try to launder it and withdraw it, essentially.
So there were three wallets. There's a cold wallet, a warm wallet, and a hot wallet.
What's a warm wallet?
A warm wallet is some intermediary one that is not 100% clear. They said they use fire bricks for the
Fire
warm
blocks.
Fire blocks, yeah, sorry. For a lot of this. I don't know what the overall. I think the warm has more to do with the frequency with which stuff is being withdrawn. So the cold wallet is once every couple of weeks. The warm wallet is what is transferred to the hot wallet for customer deposits, but it's essentially what is So when they need, like, if just depending on daily liquidity fluctuations, they may need to access capital, but they don't go dig into the cold wallet. Basically, on that, it's just a periodic frequency. I think frequency is the biggest thing, and procedures are probably different between the two things. But whatever the case, they got hacked on the cold wallet. Which requires multiple people signing off on something, which is pretty crazy that they got something injected there. But I don't know what that front end is that they're interfacing with. Like, what are they interacting with that's that got hacked in this case?
I believe it's called SAFE, SAFE protocol, and SAFE basically went down. Their like wallet integration stuff went down. They finally brought that back up or began restoring it, like after doing some, I guess, like post-mortem. Safe Wallet team began gradually restoring service over the next 24 hours, additional security measures, including
And then the hack happened after this?
No, this just came up this morning. Like the Safe Wallet team, like they took down like their services because they were concerned it could have been on their end. Like, this is what the ByBit team was interfacing with to make these transactions.
But turns out Safe wasn't.
It's a tough name right now. Tough name. Well, like we said, $1.5 billion hack, largest hack in human history, largest theft in human history. Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana all dipped on the hack. Ethereum recovered.
Sorry, you said the largest hack in human history?
Yeah.
There's never been a direct theft of more than $1.5 billion in one clip.
How about the other exchange with the our good friends at the Wall Street people, the couple?
Oh, that was the people that took the Bitcoin, the crocodile of Wall Street or whatever. But that wasn't a singular hack, was it?
It was.
But I still don't think it was $1.5 billion.
It was over $1 billion.
Probably somewhere between 1.5, yeah.
You can bring it up. I'd be curious to see. I mean, this is just what I've been seeing, and I've actually like looked into like largest heists. I like was doing some Googling on that, but that one didn't come across my radar.
The 0.5 makes a difference. It's like saying, like, did you sleep with 1,000 men or did you sleep with 999?
Over 120,000 Bitcoin.
And it depends obviously on the price of Bitcoin at that time. That's insane.
No, so that'd be that's $12 billion.
Now
you can't just
at that time it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, Ben, the CEO of ByBit, came on a space with one of his derivatives traders. They were doing a live stream throughout the process, updating everybody on withdrawals. Withdrawals got congested, but were never paused. Other exchanges jumped in. Other whales jumped in to support ByBit by depositing ETH, offering loans. They're finally backed 1-to-1 again by both deposits and loans. That distinction is important because, like, if there still is, I guess, potential for issues if these loans can't be repaid, etc. But right now, all customer funds are backed 1-to-1 again by true crypto assets, which is a good first step. Ethereum outperformed over the weekend because, of course, like the degens we are, we said, okay, well, North Korea takes forever to sell this locked up ETH, and now ByBit's going to have to market buyback ETH to cover this 1.5 billion. So ETH outperformed a bit before dumping this morning, along with every other major except for Bitcoin.
Real quick, Ray, one point of reference is I saw people bring it up. People are bringing up Mt. Gox, which was Magic the Gathering online exchange, which was essentially one of the original Bitcoin exchanges. It just kind of became a Bitcoin exchange because people started using it that way, but their security was not squeaky clean. And all of a sudden they had $1 billion worth of Bitcoin on their platform. And so 744,408 Bitcoins were stolen from Mt. Gox. And this is in February 2014. And I just did like the date where they halted withdrawals, which was February 24th, 2014. I looked up the price of Bitcoin. It opened at $606. It closed at $546. So even if let's just call it $600, at that point, it's $446 million of Bitcoin.
Yep. I mean, you look at today's numbers as these are all huge, but like at the time is
That was crazy. Yeah, at the time that was nuts. Because I, if you look up Bitcoin's market cap at that time, it was probably way less than it is now.
right. Yeah, I wonder like what that would look like the Mt. Gox hack in terms of like percentage of total crypto market cap, like seeing like the effects of that because that like crippled crypto essentially, and we just had a we had a $1.5 billion hack Friday, and prices are like within 10% of where we were. Bitcoin even like closer to range. Do we think? I guess my question here for him is like, do we think that like A, is this hack behind us? Is contagion risk like stemmed? And B, like how far have we come as like an industry that this is just kind of like a brush off the shoulder kind of moment? I'd be interested in your take here, Pio.
And we've come extremely far. This doesn't matter, which is insane. It just doesn't matter. It matters if you're obsessed with the price of Ethereum, I think, to some capacity. But this matters for the people running the ByBit business. But I guess their position was we made enough money off of like fees and liquidating degens essentially that it doesn't matter. You guys got to keep in mind, if you run a crypto exchange really well and it has a lot of users and a lot of activity, you're printing money. That's why I was appalled when OpenSea had financial issues. I was like, what do you mean OpenSea has financial issues? Years ago. It's like, what are you talking about? You guys are absolutely printing money off of NFT volume. What are you talking about? And that's also why people get really mad about FTX, because basically what Sam Bankman-Fried did is so appalling because he had such a great thing going. Like FTX was one of the top 3 exchanges in the world. He had an incredible thing going and he threw it away for literally no reason because he's mentally ill and now he's in prison. So that's why, like, if you run a good crypto exchange, you have a lot of money. It seems like ByBit's going to continue being in business, which is crazy. You just lost $1.5 billion. I saw people tweeting about like insurance and stuff. I was like, dude, can you get insurance on that amount of money? Like, what?
No, the guy said that you can't insure an exchange.
Of course not.
The thing that does look bad is this. I mean, look at Solana.
Okay.
This price action is disastrous. I don't even know what to say at this point. I feel like it's over.
It's not looking good. It's not looking great for Solana. Solana sentiment has been negative for I think 11 of the last 11 or 12 days. It had only been negative in sentiment for 2 days out of the last calendar year. So Solana sentiment at an all-time low stemming from the Libra incident and then the subsequent fallout. Overall crypto market sentiment is bottom.
Yeah, Libra followed by suicide trading, followed by Nazi guy token, followed by like
North Koreans launching a token.
Yeah, and funneling money through Solana, through that meme coin. There's been a few.
I want to sell all my Solana
in a 4-day period.
I want to sell
all. What?
Yeah, I'm not going to here because the price is like way too red. But like, dude, everyone calling for $1,000. That just seems like it's like not gonna happen. My number was still like 450.
Yeah, well, you were always right about that, Easy. You were right about the 450. And the reason why that people need to understand is the debasement of the Solana token, because we would have been we would be in like the 400s or something because you have to look at the market cap chart, right? The market cap for Solana was chilling at all-time highs for months, way before the price broke any sort of all-time high. And so that's why when people called for $1,000 Solana, I was kind of like, that sounds like really high given the debasement of the Solana token. So you were always right with that call.
Yo, dude.
No, but you can't really say he was right with it, because I'm not saying like, okay, I am saying Easy is wrong, but that's a lot of shoulda, woulda, coulda, Pio, right? At the end of the day, it went up. It did amazing new all-time highs, but we've had such like, it's been the weirdest start of the year ever, I think, just in terms of what has, it's like Solana has just been punched in the face continuously after being like the darling swan going from $8 all the way up. And I think like theoretically Easy was correct, but it's just so unfortunate that it's just had so many bad events in such a short period of time. This is like what we're like 6 weeks into the year, and it just seems been like every week since mid-Jan there's been a major bad news event for Solana. And it's not, but also as well, what's happening to Solana would have happened to any other chain if it had had the level of activity that it's had on meme coins. Solana is the only one that's had this level, that it's had the most attention, both positive and negative. Go on, Nick.
Wait, but what do you? Let me just ask this because Sig was responding to me. When you say woulda, coulda, shoulda, like you're saying woulda, coulda, should have not debased the Solana token over years?
No, I think she's saying woulda, coulda, should have sold it.
What I'm saying is that it didn't break the high numbers that we thought it was going to break because of the events that have happened.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's still going to break those numbers personally. That's why I'm saying I want to sell all my Solana. I'm not going to. My thesis is still intact. Like Bitcoin's at 95K. The bigger thing here is like we're sitting at 157, right? I think ETH could end up running towards 5K. That chart actually looks good comparatively. Bitcoin's still holding over its downtrend line, and if majors move up, Sol will move up. Like that's just what happens with coins. So like that 450 target, in my opinion, is still in play. Like absolutely still in play. You ran to 290 on the back of the president dropping a meme coin. Yes, short-term top is in for sure. Like that's it. Yeah, I see people saying, I think you said you were out of Sol in March, Easy. No, I said I wanted to sell all of it in May. Like I had a couple of key moments where I was like, sell in May, Bitcoin 150K or Sol 450. And those are still the three like targets I have in mind.
Joe McCann's a really good person to listen to on this. The way I think about it is I don't really care what Solana costs with Bitcoin here. I'm more interested in knowing what Solana's price is when Bitcoin's like 135 grand. Like that's when, if Solana's at this price when Bitcoin's 135K, I will be panicked. I'll be like, oh shit, that's bad. You know, like, but I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, I don't really care what Solana's price is like right this second.
That's how Ethereum people keep feeling every time Bitcoin hits 100K and Ethereum's about 10 times lower.
Your mic's not working. Nick.
It's working.
Oh, he's
perfectly
miming?
fine.
He's miming.
Suddenly he fucking skips the line.
All right,
I had something to say about this price action. It looks bad. Real quick, actually, on a more positive note. So I needed a desk speaker. So I bought one this weekend. It ended up being a little bit bigger than I thought. It's really big.
Why do you have the full-size JBL suitcase?
Also, why did you unpack it? Like you saw the box it came in, were you like, oh, maybe there's just like a little speaker in there? You're like, no.
I was like, fuck it, yeah. I was like, I haven't had one like this. This is nice.
Are you gonna literally perform with that thing? I feel like you're a roadie showing up to a
You can get a microphone and it plugs right in.
Like you could literally like fucking beat down the block of Miami Beach with that thing.
That thing's wild.
It's about, dude, literally I turned it on and people were like, I was like, well, the neighbors aren't going to like this. Like it has very deep bass and it doesn't have enough controls to like not have it. When the bass boost is off, it's very strong bass. And I'm just like, oh, neighbors are going to be mad about this one. Anyways. So yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sorry for jumping you online for that, Nick.
No. Hold on. I actually have a story there. Clemente, please wait. Please wait. Okay. There's some important stuff coming. The thing I was going to say is sentiment. Or the question I was going to have is, what's the narrative that's compelling for crypto at this point? Because it went from a lot of people hopping in the space and it seeming pretty positive to now my timeline is just as negative as like humanly possible. And I'm like, dude, why is anybody going to enter this space right now? There's nothing compelling. Remember the whole AI narrative? That's just out the door. Everyone's like, yeah.
That was made up though. That was literally bullshit. That never ever mattered. Twitter also doesn't matter. So yes, your Twitter timeline of weird power users of crypto gambling specifically is in shambles right now. Absolute shambles. They're like, I want to gamble, and if I try to gamble today, I'm going to get boned. So yes, that whole thing is fucked, but actual value still exists. We're in a pullback.
I don't even want to be in crypto right now. It was all about just owning your assets, and Coinbase fucking blocked me today. I officially got blocked.
Well,
So
that's
I'm like, dude, what the fuck? They hit me with my tax form last night. I look at it, I'm like, shit. All right, let's move some money so we can pay these goddamn taxes. I go to withdraw it this morning, and they're like, suspect activity. You can't move your funds till April 26th, which is 11 days after taxes. So obviously, I tweeted about it. I fudded them. And sure enough, now like 6 different team members from Coinbase have contacted me directly. And they're like, hey, whoa, let's get this fixed. But this just makes me feel for the people who don't have like a platform to bitch about. Because the whole idea of crypto is like owning your assets, but I can't actually spend those assets. Like there's still bars and regulations and shit in the way that makes it damn impossible to use any of this stuff in any meaningful way.
I mean, I get sure. You're having an issue with a centralized exchange right now that other people have had issues with. Despite all those issues, here's another indicator that Wall Street doesn't give a shit, because look at the stock price. Every time everything rallies, Coinbase rallies. Wall Street doesn't know about any of these issues. So I'm just bringing that up to point out that the sort of degen crypto Twitter community doesn't matter. And I'm sure that's going to upset some people that are listening that are part of that community, but it literally does not matter at all. It matters if you're in a 40K market cap, random ass bullshit coin that's going to go to zero. Sure, it matters for that, but it doesn't matter for anything else. But the AI coin thing was all made up bullshit and never was going to have any value ever. And if you thought that it did, you do have to kind of think through where you see value in quote crypto assets. But yeah, we're just basically in a cycle pullback right now, which by the way is not as strong as pullbacks have been in other cycles if you look at the numbers. So we're actually just in a stronger position than we would have been in a previous cycle. You're feeling that way, Easy, because you consume so much. Like you said, today is weird on the day that the guy killed himself. I wouldn't be so. If I was you, I would feel like today was, that day was weird. Also, if you're participating in the trenches and you're on Twitter 24/7, but if you're not like exposed to that, no one in the world knows that happened. Like no,
it was extremely isolated, like extremely isolated to specifically just like detrenched traders for sure. So like, yeah, it's like I was definitely conscious of the fact that it was like, yeah, if you are as chronically online as myself, seeing a lot of this, it's like, oh, this is uncomfortable. Just because like you see people that you interact with also like profiting off of this guy's suicide. Like that, I think is what really kind of was like, damn, this is like very uncomfortable. Because I was like, dude, there's not many times where even I draw a line and I was like, yeah, this is bad. Like this is really bad. Like why would you do this?
I don't co-sign launching a crypto coin based on a guy killing himself on a live stream. That's not something that I co-sign.
Yeah, guys, I don't co-sign with that. I don't co-sign with 9/11 either. Like, come on, that's I'm on record. I just want to be on record. I don't co-sign with that shit.
It's like the easy interview questions. You're like, do I support suicide? No. Do I love cancer? No.
Yeah, but anyway, here's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in why does Larry think like Ethereum?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Why does Larry think Ethereum is valuable? I want to know that. Why does Donald Trump's family think, why are they buying so much Ethereum in size with their like fund or whatever? I want to know, is Solana going to get an ETF? And if so, is it going to get flows? I want to know, is an alt season going to properly come? These are the questions that I have. I want to know, like, what is TradFi thinking right now? I know what they're thinking. They're thinking they're interested in Bitcoin, but like, for example, they just got involved in this MicroStrategy fundraise. Like, what does that look like from here? These are the things that I care about. These are the things that, in my opinion, matter. None of the random crypto, dude, the AI coin thing was like the craziest thing for me, because the whole time you guys saw me on this show when you guys were like, GOAT, like buy GOAT, and
when you guys, so hold on one second. Let's just clarify your tone over the past literal 10 minutes.
Okay.
Is you're attacking literally all of the viewers.
No, I'm not.
No, you are.
Okay.
Then you're attacking people on this show. Like we all were like universally GOAT is the greatest token. I don't know that's not even the case.
I was about to say that I know that you guys weren't saying GOAT is the future of finance / crypto and there's deep value here. You were saying, well, this is one of the ones where the price is going to go up. And I totally get that. Like on this show, I look at Ray as like the number one person that has an instinct on whether something's going to go up in price. So I'm like, oh, if Ray thinks it's going to go up in price, it'll probably go up in price in the next like 12 days, which is probably a long time horizon, right? But for me, I can't think in the terms of, oh, the price of this is going to go up. I think in the terms of the value of the thing, because if I buy it, I don't actually even want to sell it. And with the AI coins, I was like, what the hell is the value of any of this shit? And then people were like tweeting like, this is the future and stuff. I was like, these things don't do anything. They don't matter. Who even made these? What are these things? What even are they? And also, retail's never going to buy them because they don't make any sense to anybody. So this is just like a pullback during the cycle. It's a full cleanse of the complete bullshit. And I'm interested in those kind of big topics that I just talked about that, we'll get answered over like a year.
Pio, do you want to add to what the one thing you're saying, like all of this degen trench stuff doesn't like really matter, but it does, because, for example, if Kanye had actually dropped a good coin, a good token with none of the BS that he's currently doing, we would have all been like, Kanye's dropping a token, it's gonna matter. And we would have spoken to our friends about it in a positive way, which then gets, if they've never bought anything, brings them into the ecosystem and hopefully starts a positive journey for them. Now you got Kanye doing the complete opposite, plus all the other stuff that's happened in the trenches, which means when I go to talk about to someone about like why you should get into crypto and they don't want to hear about Bitcoin, but maybe for them it's like, yeah, I heard XYZ is dropping a token. They come in. So like what happens in the trenches, even though it might seem like, everyone says it's BS and vaporware, actually it isn't. It isn't at all, because it is a massive funnel for bringing in retail in. And when bad things happen, people don't come in. And when good things happen, people come in. And we saw that with just Trump just the other day. Like when it dropped, people came in. Then after that, people left. So, I mean, to your point, like I totally understand why you're thinking like right brain, what's TradFi doing, what's happening with the Solana ETFs. All of that's completely valid. But then what's also happening on the left side is just as valid as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about volume being on the Solana blockchain, which sure, that like it matters. It matters to the Solana blockchain. It absolutely matters. And now there's less volume on it than there was before. But I don't specifically care about like Kanye's launch versus someone else's launch. I just care about like the cumulative volume. And sure, these blockchains need to have some volume. That's why they exist. If they don't have volume, then there's no point in them existing. Nick?
Yeah, we get it. If you say collect assets that'll go up in value over a long period of time and buy them and hold them, show's done. Thank you for that one. I didn't say that.
I was talking about volume. And like the crypto side, like, dude, if you have a network, if you're Solana, if you're AVAX, if you're whoever, you need to have activity on your network. It's like a business. You need customers to walk into your bakery. Otherwise, you don't have a bakery anymore. You need to have some kind of volume.
Well, now the bakery is selling cakes of suicide. So real quick,
plastic on the frosting
and swastikas. I'm like, it's not looking too good on that platform. If I'm just being honest. And you got the head of Solana dunking on Ethereum about or making fun of them for getting hacked of ByBit. It's not like it doesn't look very good, if I'm being honest. The bakery is selling some weird shit at this moment in time. And it's a crew that I'm not interested in hanging out with. One other thing, did we discuss this OX.Fun thing and whether or not a former criminal has the exchange run by a former criminal is not looking too good?
We haven't yet. You want to break down the details of what happened there?
So with OX.Fun, and he's laughing at the tweet I just shared of Clemente from last week, showing how he can clap. Oh, Easy actually can do it.
It's so funny. He just came out. He's like, "Want to see my new skill?"
But I can't even. I don't even know. He couldn't even clap.
You gotta lose all mobile ability in your hands. You just gotta let them flop around a little bit.
So OX.Fun, there's some DAO, and they DM me, and I just didn't pay attention to what they were saying because I was like, well, I didn't know. Someone said, look at this shit. So basically, here, I'll share my screen, and you can. Oh, okay, I guess you're sharing it.
Yeah, trying to get into exactly which.
Here, let me present this real quick. So here's what happened. So OX.Fun, basically came out with this post that essentially they got DM'd from the head of the treasury at OX.Fun, essentially saying, we're not giving you they deposited $1 million and wanted the money back. Basically essentially is negotiating with them on how to get their money.
And who founded OX.Fun?
What's his name?
Suzu and Kyle Davies.
Yeah.
And they are the guys behind 3 Arrows Capital.
Yeah. Didn't Rasmer do a promo with them?
Well, he did a bit with Suzu.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. His own posts are getting out of control where he's claiming to be a Jew and just keeps tweeting that. So I've muted him at this point in time. Despite his videos. Huh?
I said it's a weird angle to randomly tweet about being Jewish.
He just keeps posting it over and over, and I'm like, yo, this joke isn't funny, and like get back to making videos, because those are good, but
shut up
outside of your videos, yeah, like exactly, stay in your lane, you dumb idiot. Like, yo, you had a good thing going, and then you decided to hang out in LA and fucking dydx.trade, lose all your money, and stop making video content, and now post racist shit because you consume so much of that garbage. Maybe do something instead, because you're pretty good at it. So in terms of what happened with OX.Fun, basically OX.Fun wouldn't give them this money. Then there's all this. If you look up OX.Fun just on Twitter, basically what you'll find is there's a guy who did research saying that the on-chain liquidity of OX.Fun is down to like $1 million. We'll find the chart here. This guy. So this guy came out with a thing saying this is their like on-chain assets, and it just keeps going down and down and down. So yeah, so that's what, and basically someone in the replies from OX.Fun, this treasury guy who's just like kind of out of his fucking mind, posting crazy shit. This guy, Nico.Fun, I followed all of them, but and he followed me back. But Nico.Fun is now just acting like everything's normal. And
well, did you read into it, like why they held the guy's funds?
Yeah, about market manipulation.
Yeah, he was trying to take advantage of like an Oracle issue on the site, from what I could understand, where he would basically be able to use that $1 million and force the price in a direction that would benefit him.
Yeah,
like basically sweep the order books.
Both these things are sketchy, essentially. So like that guy's behavior was weird, which is why he originally didn't publish it. And then I published it after this other post about like liquidity issues. And I'm like, well, dude, you can't miss. I'm like, once that sort of like story starts, I don't know how it stops. Like, who's going to go and trade this platform now? And so even whether or not this analysis is correct, they were like, hey, we publish all of our stuff on chain, but then I guess my conclusion was, why don't they just go and publish it, stop the FUD and move on with stuff? But instead, this guy, Nico, is just out here in the replies to other people, just kind of writing weird shit. Like he replied to me with this tweet. He replied to someone else. What was the other thing he said?
Asian maxi.
What's that?
He said he was an Asian maxi to Eric Wall there.
Okay, thanks. I don't know. There was some reply, and maybe he deleted it, where he essentially was like, yeah, we have proof of funds, but then didn't show it.
Which is always not the best sign.
Which is why I ran the story, essentially, because you guys shared it internally, and I was like, and then I went and checked my DMs, and I saw it, and I'm like, maybe this thing is weird. Like, maybe they legitimately have it. Then I saw that they were saying that they have it. And that's where I was just like, okay, I'm not running this story, Once I saw this thread where this guy had done this analysis of their on-chain balance and saying it's down to $1 million, I'm like, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. $1 million,
So,
not enough to support it.
no. So
Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that this is not like a huge,
no, like I hadn't heard of OX Fund before this, pretty much.
I had because I just had because I heard Easy talk about it.
Yeah, it's like a meme coin shorting platform. But before we move on, I want to thank the partners for today's show one more time. RekTech. You can follow RekTech at RekTech on Twitter. That's RekTech. I'm going to share a little of an infographic here on tomorrow's mint. We'll talk about this more tomorrow. But essentially, tomorrow is a 0.25 Solana mint, nice and cheap, open edition. What this gets you is a pass, a Dream Pass. A Dream Pass gives you access to their platform. What they are is a daily mini game platform. You play games like we played earlier in the show. You earn experience. You climb leaderboards. The game is structured over seasons, with the first season beginning March 3rd. So that's next week. The grand prize is a Pudgy Penguin. Other prizes will be added depending on how many passes get minted. So this will be season 1. Season 2 will run right on the back of season 1. You're going to be able to climb the leaderboard. You're going to earn experience with your Dream Pass. The XP is tied directly to the pass. So if you play it for a little bit, it's not for you, you earn some XP, you can sell it with that XP on it and maybe earn a little premium in the marketplace. As you're earning XP, you're also earning loot boxes. They could have some cool prizes in them, NFTs, tokens, etc. You can win the main prizes of the tournaments if you lead the leaderboards. Also, you want to stack XP. It runs over seasons, and there's going to be future ecosystem rewards. If you can think of how these platforms end up monetizing in the end, you can guess what future ecosystem rewards are and how you would want a share of those with the XP. This team is absolutely goated. They've been on the show since before I was on the team here at Bodoggos. We've done definitely some work with Internet Game, if you remember them from back in 2022, OG crypto game show. They gave away $2.5 million in NFTs, the largest NFT prize pool in history at that point. They're backed by some of the best in the business: Dragonfly, Parify, Collab, Currency, Delphi Digital. We love working with them. We've known them for a while. We know they're not going to rug pull you on this. This is a fun daily game. It takes your mind off of the rug pulls. It's a team that's actually building interesting and fun things in the community, and we have a blast with them. Follow them at RekTech, RekTech. Go to rektech.com. You can sign up, create a profile. Once you mint, you'll be able to participate in the mini games. We'll have more on that tomorrow, live on Mint Day. Anything else you want to add, Pio? You're pretty close to this team. You've been talking to them for a while. You have some history, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's really fun stuff. They know that they're really good at making the sort of simple internet addictive games, and obviously they do it with crypto baked in. So yeah, just really excited to continue seeing where this goes. This token is going to be on Solana, so
we don't know if they're launching a token or not. So we'll have to.
I meant the thing that's happening tomorrow is on Solana,
Yeah.
right?
The NFT.
Yes,
Yeah.
the NFT is on Solana.
That's a token. So yeah, like that stuff's going to be on Solana. So fuck yeah. More volume on Solana, fast, cheap transactions. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. One more shout out to RekTech. Big fans of them. Let's get back into it. So we talked about the ByBit. We talked about a little bit of the OX Fun stuff. We talked about the Pump.Fun LPs at the beginning of the show briefly. Is there anything else we want to talk about in terms of like Radium, other pick and shovel plays on Solana, best ways to get exposure to Pump.Fun now? Are you trying to participate in like the Pump-Fun?
To be honest, dude, it's like if I'm going to do anything on Pump.Fun, it's probably going to be provide liquidity once I see some more documentation on that. Just because like if Pump.Fun does do a coin at some point, you should be rewarded for providing through their AMM. Like it's still in beta. It's not nearly as fleshed out as basically anything from Uniswap to Meteora to even Orca, which are like various liquidity providing platforms. So I'm still kind of hesitant, but we'll see. Like I'm more interested to kind of just like wait right now. If I'm looking at the market, I'm sitting on my hands. You need Sol to consolidate and actually show some signs of life and some support here before you're going to get any sort of rebound on stuff. Kaido's the most interesting chart. Like that's the one that I'd be a buyer of. Like Clemente did say full port Kaido 10x leverage, and I didn't do that. Instead, I shorted Radium last night after the initial message, and now the portfolio is back in green for our dydx account. We're back into like $1,200. We were down to like 780. So we had a huge win on that Radium short. I wish I left it open overnight, but I don't like to sleep on stuff because you usually get scam pumps. So I closed it. We're up nicely. Now down about 300 from its peak. So we're doing well. Like we're right back there.
Are you able to bring that up?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. Got to hop on a quick flight.
I'm just curious to see how that's going to go. Pia, what were you going to say?
No, I was just happy that Easy hit that short. That's awesome. One thing I'll say about the Radiums of the world is, for me, it's always been challenging for me to, like, justify investing in those tokens because there is so much disruption from competitors. And then also because whenever there's real like business function attached to these tokens, it doesn't seem like the market loves them. The market sort of loves like irrational stuff that you can't understand, like the AI coins or like a random meme coin, right? So it's like holding these things for the long term is just hard. Like you guys hit that 4x on Radium and then now it pulls back. It's tough.
Yeah, I had a very like I was very slow to get into like I bought Radium and traded it like briefly, but I never really bought and hold it because I was like, what happens if or whatever deal they have with Radium falls through and they go to a different LP and
so you thought of exactly what was going to happen.
Right. I mean, the moat isn't like that huge for Radium. Like they don't offer something special for Pump.Fun, but I didn't think Pump.Fun was going to make their own LP. Like,
makes sense though, doesn't it? Like you want to own that part of your structure, right? I mean, that kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah, no brainer. But I didn't think about it at the time. I thought it would be like a competitor coming in and then just like funneling it a different way. Is that our short there? That banger, nice.
Right there. We got in here near the top of this candle. We got filled at 3.48 and sold it near here at 3.15.
Nice.
So
what's the balance?
Nice little swing. 1137 right now. So we're back up. We did have a mean hit. We were all the way down to $711. So that ended up pushing us right back over. We're back in the green now on the 30-day, which is the main thing that we want to see. So we did peak at 1800. This chart's terrifying. We got a huge in the face here.
So trading.
Literally just pressed like has made like 9 trades so far and is up $100.
10%. We'll take it. Any trades you're making today? You're looking at potentially?
I like the Kaido chart a lot, dude. A lot. Like I do, but right now I don't want to buy anything. Like I want to just wait because you have ETH down 5%. This chart is ugly. Like ETH is ugly. Bitcoin broke down from the trend line that we had, so we're now under that, which probably opens the door to like 92.8. Sol is just astronomically down. Like this thing, it could be on support here, 154, but under that 120.
Are you a buyer at any levels
for Sol?
Yeah,
I'm gonna start buying at 140.
Okay.
So not a lot, but 140 to 120, basically this whole area, I'm a buyer. Because I truly think you can get a 2x out of it.
Easy. Oh, question on Pump.Fun, right? I remember, I can't remember their name now, but there was those tokens that came out like 2-3 weeks ago, which you were like, if there's a Pump.Fun competitor and they can even take X percentage of the market, which was quite low, it would be worth getting exposure. Now that we've seen Pump.Fun move to this new model and they'll probably incentivize people around providing liquidity, do you see a world where Pump.Fun's moat now is like so large and defensible that actually these other tokens, which you said could potentially take some market share, do you think they even have a chance at it now, or is it just like Pump.Fun?
Oh, it still does for sure. Like GFM here looks really interesting to me. Like these prices right around this 21 mil, it pumped all the way up to 100. So like, even if this can gain some market share, I do think it can get back up to like a 3x here towards that 786. So like 63 mil. It's just more like you have to believe and think that the meme coin trenches will theoretically come back, because that's the entire bet. Like the whole thesis is like we will continue to see volume there. When I look though, and let me just pull up this Dune dashboard, the trenches right now are, what was the guy's name? Jay Hacksworth?
Yeah,
was that the guy?
JHACKWORTH.
Jay Hackworth. Okay, so this guy, Jay Hackworth, has a Pump.Fun dashboard that I really like that Ray has shared to me, and this is where I have some concerns, because you're basically looking here. No, it actually looks bad.
Wow.
It's not that it doesn't look good, but total fees, we're down to lows yesterday that we haven't seen since, October of last year. which is like, you have to remember August and October was when it really started to cook through November, but we're almost back down. And honestly, we probably could go back down to like the summer lull which is crazy. We say it's a low, but they're still making $1 million in fees, which is fucking nuts. Like, yeah, the low, $1 million a day. Daily volumes falling off of a cliff right now, week over week, which is bad. We continue to look, and you have daily and new active addresses all the way down to where we haven't seen since November. So like a lot of the metrics here are showing number of graduations is like astronomically down at the moment, which is bad. You're just like that whole space right now is taking a pretty heavy hit. And it's like, before it was like, you could find some winners every day still, even the last few days. Like there was a couple days this week where stuff was starting to run again. And now it's like, it's basically a ghost town over there. Like so many people are just like not trading in the trenches at all. And like some of the biggest accounts like Copy Trade are not making trades. Cupsy is somehow still printing $70,000 a day. But other than him, dude.
That's insane. Sorry to cut you off. Real quick, someone pointed out, someone was like, so wait, was Hayden the person responsible for all the coins running to 20 million and then dying? Like, where'd all those runners go?
Well, when the market's flush with liquidity, it's like there's multiple opportunities. Like people will view an opportunity and make a swing. That's a big thing. So it's like, yes, when you have those huge winners, it does cycle liquidity in. But without any massive winner, a lot of people are kind of just sitting complacent.
It's 10:06 a.m. and Easy's in the pitch black right now.
I just don't have my overhead lights on.
Dude, like, what do you treat it like Vegas? Like, I don't know what,
basically.
You know, no natural.
Well, there's like a plant out there, so like the sunlight doesn't come in. I have like a spotlight that does this. I could go turn the lights on, but you know, like it's a sad day in the market, so we're just gonna keep the gloomy vibes going.
Turning the lights on at 10 a.m. in Florida is absolutely diabolical. That's absolutely diabolical.
Realistically, I probably won't turn them on all day.
That's good. That's good.
Just
you open the window.
Before we wrap,
It's open.
before we wrap, can I show you guys the inspiration for, or basically one of my biggest idols growing up? This is when I was, you know, a young immigrant, and how I learned how to clap so fast. Ken Toast French. He was the world's fastest clapper.
I am the world's fastest
Can you guys hear this?
clapper.
Yeah.
I actually set the record for most claps in a minute.
721 claps in 1 minute.
No, but just let it play.
In 1 minute. That's a rate of 12 claps per second for 60 seconds. So I'm going to give you a little demo.
No, just let it go. Why
It's
not
a
let
minute.
it play? It's,
We got to go loosey goosey.
This guy's a musician.
That is warm up.
Full screen that thing.
He's locking in.
Great audio content.
Okay, here we go. That's warm up.
Here we go.
Now we're going to go for, feeling pretty good. I think we'll go for 14 claps per second. 14 claps per second.
It's like head's not even
One more
moving.
gear.
This guy's
Body's locked in.
Like,
Wow.
this guy is sick.
Thank
You're
you.
spanking and clapping from break.
that was sick.
So that video is 17 years old. My brothers and I would watch it when we first moved here, and we would try to do it ourselves. We love that guy.
We'll love that, and that's a great way to end
So,
today's.
real quick, as we finish the show, I'm talking to Andrew. If you want to pull him up, Ray, Andrew Abacus on Twitter today. I'm very excited. And I wouldn't just tell you this. I'm super excited. And so I'm doing it on my informal podcast. My podcast, which is just me being like, hey, do you want to talk to me today? And then I stream it to X and to to Twitter, or excuse me, to YouTube. I'm going to talk to him about Bitcoin, macro, and MicroStrategy. I know a lot of people are like, that's boring. But it's like, dude,
MicroStrategy.
at some point, you kind of want to learn some shit, right? And this is going to be a really, really insightful discussion. I'm going to talk to him a lot about BlackRock and Larry Fink because he follows that really close. And I want to know what he thinks about Ethereum because he brings up the BlackRock and Larry Fink argument for Bitcoin all the time. And I want to know what he thinks about the Ethereum component to that because BlackRock's in on Ethereum. Obviously, yeah, we didn't talk about it on the show. Saylor announced they bought another 20,000 Bitcoins. They're about to hit 500,000 Bitcoins, which is incredible, obviously. So I want to talk to him about that too. But it'll be like
what
Bitcoin.
time, Pio?
That'll be at 1:30 Eastern time. 1:30 Eastern. I'm pumped. I'm actually pumped. This guy's sick. So I'm really pumped about this. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
That's great. Yeah. They also closed $2 billion worth of 0% notes over the weekend as well. So $2 billion in Bitcoin, $2 billion raised. I think it was a like 97K average price for this round of Bitcoin, but absolute shit ton of Bitcoin. And when I saw that news come out, I was getting pumped as well. So this should be a good watch, and I'll be there.
Yeah, real quick. Ebrink said the stocks, like MicroStrategy stocks, not looking great today. The price is going down. If that's what the price is going down, if that's what you mean by it's not looking great. But when I hear that info that we're about to break 500,000 Bitcoins, I think that looks pretty great. I don't know. And the preferred stock, the STRK ticker, is crushing, and that's a new pool of liquidity to tap. I think it's looking pretty good. I'm buying it every day. It's pretty sick. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So when you're buying, are you buying more MicroStrategy than Bitcoin?
Right. Yeah. So I focused on Bitcoin for like 4 years. Like I really focused on it, and I was just buying Bitcoin, and I accumulated a stack of Bitcoin. And right now, at this moment, I'm really focused on MicroStrategy and Misty. Those are the two things I'm really focused on. I got into another $5,000 of Misty last Friday via a cash secured put. So I use that. This is what it is. That's what it is. But anyway,
Wait, I was about to call you Bitcoin. Pio, I have my theory for being in MicroStrategy. It was because I couldn't get into the BTC ETF last year when it came out. And my whole thesis was I'll buy MicroStrategy as a leverage bet on Bitcoin in a tax efficient manner. So that's why I got into it. Why are you so into it?
Because it's the most interesting equity because it's so low in terms of market cap. Like right this second, since the price is going down, which obviously makes it exciting because you have crazy value here. The market cap is $70 billion, and I view that as a complete joke. Let's compare that to some other companies.
Well, what's the value of their Bitcoin?
It's the NAV, like the multiplier is 1.6. So now. Yes, but it's not an ETF. And this is one of the things that I'm going to talk to Andrew about is everyone's like, well, you're paying extra for Bitcoin. I'm not buying an ETF. I'm buying a company. I'm buying a publicly traded company that no other company is going to be able to catch up to in terms of quantity of Bitcoin owned. It's a company that's competing with nation states and the actual ETFs in terms of quantity of Bitcoin owned, but it's not an ETF. So when you buy this, you're not buying an ETF. You're buying a company that owns Bitcoin. That's like basically taking a brand new approach to corporate finance. For me, I like to be forward looking. And I think, okay, in 15 years, if a company owns way more fucking Bitcoin than any other company, period, there's probably some pretty interesting shit they can do with that. So I think it's very interesting. And I love the option shit I can do with it, the yield that I can get off of it. Like during this show, when you guys were deep in discussion, I pulled an easy and I went into all of my brokerage accounts and my mom's brokerage accounts. I sold some covered calls real quick. Is on a week like this when the price is going down, that's like an easy thing to do. Like, do I think MicroStrategy is going to cost $405 by Friday? No, I don't. So I view the covered call as just a free money play. Yeah, that's it. And like, so when the price goes down, people try to dunk on MicroStrategy, but the price going down is kind of the point. The point of the stock is its volatility. When it goes up, everyone like creams themselves. And when it goes down, everybody shits themselves. You should just be excited either way. Literally, you should be excited either way. That's the point of volatility. It goes both ways. That's why we get the options premium that we have. That's why Misty exists. Oh, real quick, Sound Money. Talking about GameStop. people think that GameStop is going to plow. GameStop has a lot of money. I think they have like 50 billion. If someone wants to let me know how much cash GameStop has, they have an assload of cash. If they plowed all the cash into Bitcoin, I think they'd be a top 4 corporate holder of Bitcoin. Or no, I think they'd actually be number 2 after MicroStrategy, actually. It's only 4.6 billion in cash?
That's what Gemini AI is telling me. June 12th, 2024, 4 billion cash pile.
They have a lot of cash. And if they plowed it all into Bitcoin, they'd be one of the top corporate holders of Bitcoin. That's how you take a, quote, zombie company, which I know Nick knows all about zombie companies. Zoom is another zombie company, like not showing any growth, but has a lot of cash that could plow their balance sheet into Bitcoin. That will transform the stock. So look at GameStop, look at Zoom. I got Clemente fucking chuckling.
No, it was because you threw a zinger at Nick for knowing about zombie companies. Nick, you've been a part of so many zombie shitty companies.
No, I meant Nick knows the definition of a zombie company and would have things to say about zombie companies because Nick knows that world. I'm not saying
you're saying Zoom. Well, here's one of the problems with the thing is the thesis with saying Zoom should instead just take their cash and put it into Bitcoin is basically the reality that these companies don't know what to do with their cash.
Right.
Which is
their cash is being debased. The melting ice cube.
No, what I'm saying is no. I'm not saying hold the cash.
They don't know how to invest it back into their company for growth.
Exactly.
Right. However, there's always going to be some amount of cash that these companies have. It's not.
Yeah, and from that standpoint, yeah, there's a treasury management thing that they have where there's definitely like maintenance outside of cash. Oftentimes, those go into bonds for producing yield is what you typically see so that they can generate income against their assets that they have. And at least it's keeping up with inflation in theory. You're getting more yield against your cash rather than letting the cash just sit in the bank. It's wild that they have this much money. And a lot of other places, a lot of other companies like Apple, Google, all these other places have too much cash. Apparently, Warren Buffett has more cash than ever before right now. It's something like 100. He has more cash than the Federal Reserve.
Insane. He will not buy Bitcoin. We know about it because he's just too old to understand it. You're assuming he's not going to figure it out before he passes away. Look, we're going to see what happens with corporates putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet. I'm bullish on it. I'm biased, but I believe that it will be the new standard for corporate finance to have some sort of allocation, and it'll have basically whoever does it first will see the most benefit.
I think Signal is like valid in our question though about like in terms of like inherently the leverage, the amount that they're yielding against Bitcoin goes down over time, like MicroStrategy or whatever, that they need to at least at some point develop something that actually turns it into a productive asset, essentially, which your bet is that in the next 30 years they will, basically. Is that
MicroStrategy is going to literally be a financial services company based on Bitcoin, like a Bitcoin bank with all sorts of modern instruments that we can't even think of yet because we're not future predicting geniuses. And Michael Saylor might have stuff rattling around in his mind, but what he's focused on is just figuring out how to tap new pools of liquidity like he just did with the preferred market with that STRK issuing, which is super cool. So he's doing some crazy shit right now that traditional finance just doesn't really understand. Real quick, I agree.
Well, hold on. When you say traditional finance doesn't understand, literally traditional finance is the source of his capital.
What I mean, though, that they don't understand is that they don't understand Bitcoin yet. But like there are TradFi people that are like, this Bitcoin thing is bullshit. I mean, turn on CNBC, right? Like it is not uniformly bullish Bitcoin. It's just not. So like people are still catching up to just Bitcoin. Then there's people that are like, well, MicroStrategy, why would you overpay for Bitcoin? Because they're treating it like an ETF when it's not an ETF. Hold on for just 1 second. Just last thing. So we're going to wrap in a second. I want to wrap too because I got to finish my questions for Andrew and I'm pumped about that. And I got to pick up my raw milk from the Amish farm. That's coming in.
I was muted. I was trying to.
Yeah, it's all good. It's between now and the interview. I got to pick up.
So you're spending the day picking up raw milk?
I'm not spending the day picking it up. It's a quick drive. It's a quick drive for the raw.
You're
milk.
like, I'm really excited about my 2 things today is to write questions for this and to go to the farm where I'm going to be driving for 2 hours to go to the farm to pick up raw milk.
It's like 8 minutes from here. It's a warehouse in the middle of nowhere. Not
Everybody in the audience heard it.
Do you
We
milk
all
the
heard
cows?
I don't. It's delivered. It's just in a bottle. Anyway, real quick, Sound Money, who calls me gay and retarded on a regular basis, who always is in our replies saying that we're dumbasses, I fully agree with here. He's pointing out that GameStop will have a hated rally like no other if they do plow all their money into Bitcoin. The founder of GameStop hadn't followed anybody new on Twitter in the past year and a half, and he followed 2 Bitcoin guys. So it's rattling around in his head. And it'll transform that zombie ass company, or it'll just give them a new light at the end of the tunnel. So Sound Money says he's a retired fintech dude living in the Caribbean. You forgot about the mentally ill part, Sound Money. But anyway,
what's the market cap of GameStop right now? It's 11 billion. And how much cash do they have?
Anywhere between 4.6 and 6 billion, according to commenters.
So basically, if they put all of it into Bitcoin, then they'd trade at the same price that they trade at today.
The market has shown a lot of favorability for companies putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. You're seeing it with that SMLR ticker. You're seeing it with Rumble's ticker. You're seeing it with MetaPlanet, which now owns 0.1% of MetaPlanet. Look up MetaPlanet, dude. This is an insane company. It's a Japanese company that literally is running the Sailor playbook because this young Bitcoiner, Dylan LeClaire, is managing their Bitcoin strategy. It's fucking cool shit, man. This is the stuff that's interesting, not like fucking the trenches. Like this, come on, man. You're playing a game.
Little stray caught by the
Zinger.
audience. Caught him.
Zinger.
Hey, audience, you got one. Got him.
This is MetaPlanet. This is Japanese, you said, Pio?
Yeah, but Dylan LeClaire.
My God.
10x from last year when they started buying Bitcoin around this time.
Oh my God.
Yo, when did you, Clemente, decide that just throwing out racist stuff was a good move on this show?
Thought he's friends with me.
Not
I'm taking offense. Even though Ways of Wang says you're okay, I'm taking offense.
Yo, this cypherpunk shit, all you're doing is saying that this guy. So real quick, Ebrink goes, we strayed so far from cypherpunk.
All right.
Dude,
All right.
Go get mad that Bob Dylan went electric, dude. We're not playing the same song every day. We're going to get fucking better. Okay. All right. See you guys.
Well, no one listens to him play electric, so whatever.
That's going to do it for today's show. Thank you all.
I
for
mean, I
joining us today.
I think acoustic was better. If I'm being
You can
honest.
catch us on all major
It's
podcasting
Bob Dylan.
platforms.
I mean,
You can catch us
That's
on Spotify, Apple. Watch us back on YouTube. Have a wonderful week. We'll be here Monday through Friday,
11 a.m.
9 a.m. Eastern time.
Toast.
Have a good Monday.